Hey folks, this is Sean,
And this is Kevin.
and this is The One Other Thing.
All right.
Look at that, I got the name of the show right,
Nice.
because I cheated and looked. But
Yes. So this is episode 2?
this is episode 2 already, so thank you all for joining us. You know, if this is your first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy it, and if you listened to episode 1, you're here again, well, thank you even more. Looks like we've got a thunderstorm rolling in, so that should make for an interesting podcast.
Yeah, hopefully don't lose power.
Yeah, that would definitely rain on our parade. So we're going to jump right into things today, folks, and we got a few things to talk about. So first on the list is Last of Us 2.
Yes, Last of Us Part 2, which is a game I completed a couple days ago. I don't know what you heard about it, Sean. There was a lot of controversy.
People were upset. Yeah, people were not like... well, actually, what I read briefly was that reviewers loved it, fans hated it.
Yes, because when it comes to a narrative, it's different than real life. And some people play video games, like the first video game, and it's real life to them. They love Joel. They love Ellie. And if something bad happens to them in a video game, they will hate you. You just killed my favorite person in the world.
I get that. I can completely relate. Yep.
But when it comes to a narrative sake, if you have a character in the first game, which you've seen playthroughs of the first game, right?
Correct, yeah.
And again, this is going to be semi-spoilery for Last of Us 2, so if you haven't played the game, you might have to skip this episode. But by now, most people should already seen all the spoilers and seen all the leaks by now.
Are we spoiling Last of Us 1 while we're at it then?
Oh, if you haven't played Last of Us 1, it's been out for 8 years, then I'm sorry. I really apologize right now. Go play it.
So what do you mean he was dead the whole time?
He was dead the whole time. In the first game, too. No. No, but as a narrative, and I was talking to my wife about this, is that when it comes to narrative, in real life, he would have killed that doctor in the first game, and nothing would have happened to him. That's real life. That's what people wanted. Either wanted him to be a hero in Game 1 and a hero in Game 2. But he was a piece of garbage in the first game. And the narrative's sake is that what has to happen in the second game, if it's a narrative, because the guy, Neil Druckmann, was trying to make a narrative here, not just a game, but an experience. And he caused a lot of harm to people and pretty much doomed the entire planet by saving Ellie and killing the only doctor that knew how to make a vaccine. So in the second game, was I shocked that he got killed? No. Did I like seeing it on the screen? No. Did I like playing as the other character where I have to hit him too? No, I didn't like doing that, but I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it because I like good stories, and I thought it was a good story. But that was only part of the controversy in the game. Killing your character you love, and yeah, I can see people saying, I killed someone I love, but it's a narrative.
Well, is it a George R.R. Martin thing, too, in the sense of Last of Us 2, you've got Joel there, but you've got the little girl.
Yeah.
And, Joel dies in the second one here, so... Is that when you realize that the story is just about the girl, not Joel, or is it not about anybody in particular?
That's a good question.
Because, and I think of George R.R. Martin, because, when I first read Game of Thrones, I'm reading a book which is about this, king here, Eddard Stark, and his kin and his family, and I'm like, oh, main character, and then,
Yeah.
Seriously, guys, spoiler alerts all over the place on this one, but he gets his head chopped, and I'm like, holy shit, you can't kill the main character, but then I learned, well, he wasn't really the main character. Yeah. I just presumed him to be.
Yeah, if you put both these stories together now, it would make Ellie the main character, because she's the one who survives through both the first and second game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is this, or, when Last of Us 3 comes out...
which is going to.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, do you know what has to be?
Yeah, but, well, Final Fantasy doesn't know what the word Final is either.
Exactly. But it's awesome. And Valve can't count past 2.
Yes,
just
that's
universal truths out there.
Yeah, you can't get through that. So with the game, and that was one controversy in the game. The second controversy in the game is that, again, I try to avoid everything. I kind of knew the ending, but I didn't really understand it. And I knew that he died, so I played the game anyways, and it plays better. It's much prettier, it's better animations, you can go prone, it's just a beautiful world. You never want to live in it.
Sure.
But it is the most gorgeous video game I've ever seen, hands down. And
wow, that's saying a lot too.
It's just water's perfect. Everything about the game, grass, could crawl inside and hide in grass and stuff. It was just really well detailed environment. And Final Fantasy got some knocks in the new game where the first couple hours of the game was really great graphics, but if you started really looking at walls and stuff, they had like lower res graphics here and there and tiles. Whereas this one, throughout the game, it felt like they just 100% filled up with perfect graphics. And I like the game better than the first game as far as gameplay goes. Yes, I like the first story better because, you feel like kind of a hero, but the game ends on like a really sad note anyways, because basically it ends with him lying to Ellie that, there's no cure, and he pulled her out, even though he killed everybody there, but he didn't tell her that. And in this game, she finds out.
Yeah.
She's pissed at him. And they do this weird Pulp Fiction storytelling where they keep changing time periods throughout the game.
Yeah.
So you can see the backstory. So people are upset that Joel died in the first 2 hours of the game, and the game took me about 35 hours to beat.
Okay.
So there were sections where I go back and there's large sections with Joel anyway, flashbacks, and they're good scenes. But then you play the game for like 20 hours, and you're about ready to, have your revenge. You killed everybody that wronged you except for the main person.
Yeah.
And you have to give up. You got a sick person with you. You have to head back. You're kind of giving up. Well, then the game shows you with the character after you finding you, and the game stops. The game stops. So the game starts Seattle Day 1, Seattle Day 2, Seattle Day 3, and you play through all days in Seattle, which is beautiful Seattle. It's raining all the time, so it's great. Great atmosphere. And then all of a sudden, Seattle Day 1, from the perspective of the person who killed Joel.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the big controversy, is that all of a sudden, and it's not just like an hour or two. So I think, and this is the part that people really hate, and when people wanted to return the game, it wasn't even on the Joel being killed. It was this part where all of a sudden you start playing this character named Abby, and you're not playing it for like an hour or two. You're playing it for 10 hours. They want you to walk in her shoes to see if
everything
she was justified.
Up to, why
so
she did it.
And if you bought into it, you like the game. If you're like, this is just bullcrap, I'm just trudging through it, I don't give a crap about this character, and you're just angry when you're playing the game, one, you're making the point of the video game yourself by saying, revenge is bad, and you should understand somebody else's point of view. So that's what they're trying to do.
Well, perspective is everything. I think that's our lesson here.
I believe the writer, and I could be wrong, but Neil Druckmann, who wrote this, I believe what he was thinking when he wrote it is that it can't be just a cutscene. You have to feel what this person's going through, and she goes through a lot. And as it turns out, they retconned it a little bit by the doctor that you kill in the last game was her father. Okay. And they start going into her and crying and losing her mind.
So she was getting her revenge in a weird sort of way.
She was just as full of rage as Ellie, and spent her entire life after that bulking up. They showed her. She looked like a dude. She had like large arms and just was a machine. And she made herself into a weapon to kill Joel. Yeah. And that was her only goal in life.
Sure.
And so you got this, but then you had flashbacks where she had a loving relationship with her father and all this stuff, and they want you to really feel her pain.
Well, it's the age old, what's good, what's evil. Yeah. And one generally depends on what angle you're looking at it from, Yeah. But I hear you. So
if you didn't buy into that, you hated the game.
I'd heard there was a love scene that you couldn't skip with two dudes, and people frowned upon that.
Oh. If they called it two dudes, they're being jerks, because it was Abby.
It's fantastic.
And a guy named Owen.
That is fantastic.
So if they call it two dudes,
they entirely did.
They're being a jerk.
Oh, yeah. It was. I, of course, can't cite the source, but it was on my newsfeed.
Yeah, so apart from, those are legitimate reasons to dislike the game. You just don't like the story. Yeah. I went through all the Metacritic reviews. Half the reviews I read wasn't about any of that. They didn't like the lesbian relationship. Okay. And they didn't like the one trans character in the game.
So really, it was just a whole, I guess it would be a homophobe thing, or an LGBTQ issue.
And that is not a good reason to hate the game in any way. It's not in your face. And if you played the DLC of the first game, you already knew Ellie was gay. So
it's Yeah, it's beyond my comprehension. It's one of those things I can't understand why anybody cares who anybody else is having sex with.
Yeah.
It's kids aside, everyone. But
Yeah.
yeah, consenting adults, what ifs? Just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I respect that they put it in the game, and it's not like they didn't put it in your face or anything. It was just part of the story.
One of the things you said I find fascinating and I wonder about is you said it took you 35 hours to beat the game. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, so that's like 3 months for me? Like, how long would that take me?
Yeah. See, I could play it for 8 hours at a clip, so
yeah,
I knock it out pretty quickly.
Well, you know me, I like to walk into the corner of a room and then go all Blair Witch and just kind of get lost in the corner, not find my way out.
The game is about gathering stuff and going to unique places, and there's one section of the game you would have missed, and I think I told you about this where she's singing "Aha," and if I knew lyrics, I would have known that the first song in the game was a Pearl Jam song.
Okay, that's fantastic.
I had no idea because I didn't know, but somebody says, "Oh, it's a Pearl Jam song. I got permission from Eddie Vedder to put it in the game."
Do you know what song this is?
Future Days.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it's a newer song.
Okay.
So, but I didn't know it. It was a nice song, and they both Joel and Ellie sung it, different parts of the game.
Somebody played "Hurt" on the guitar.
Oh, because you could play
Yeah.
actual songs on the guitar.
Yeah, I saw a video
yeah.
of somebody playing "Hurt."
That's just messed up. That's cool. I think some would be hard because you can only do like 6 or 7 different chords at a time, where you have to flip it to a different page.
Okay.
So that can be difficult. So if you pick a song that all the chords are right on the screen, that shouldn't be too hard.
Sure.
But yeah, don't want to show because there's like 4 or 5 pages of different chords.
Yeah.
So I think they're picking chords that are generally friendly with each other.
Yeah.
So you could probably do it. I'd have to know the chords. Of course, most songs are like 2 or 3 chords anyway, so you should be able to find song to play. So I did not hate the game. I did not like the story 100%. I think they could have done better. I think they could have used an editor. I think they could have changed the order of how the story was told and not killed him in the first 2 hours. Didn't feel earned.
Okay. So 2 questions, I guess, based on that. One, are you buying Last of Us 3?
Yes, I'll buy The Last of Us 3 because I didn't hate the story. I dislikes it, but the gameplay itself. Once you see the story, if you play the game again, which I have to get all the hidden trophies, because I always platinum these games in Sony. The story is not that big of a deal second time around. You already know what the story is. You know what's coming. All the shock value is gone. So now you're just playing for the game, and the game is the best stealth shooter I've ever played.
Wow.
And there's only one thing I did not like about the game at all. Killing dogs. That I did not enjoy.
I frown upon
even a little.
Yeah.
But I didn't get teary-eyed about it. I felt bad about it.
Yeah.
Until.
I like that there's something that justifies killing puppies.
Yes.
But...
No, I felt bad about it. And I got teary-eyed. I got the feels because when I played through the game, you make your way to an aquarium as Ellie, and you end up killing a bunch of people in the game.
Yeah.
Of the main characters. And then when you go back as Abby, you make it back to the aquarium, and you find a map that you figure out where Ellie was. But anyways, in there, when you're on your journey to the aquarium, you have a dog named Alice that you actually are training and throwing balls to and following you around. And I had no idea at the time, but that was the only dog in the aquarium that I killed. So when you come across a dead body and you make a little more of a connection with that dog, you're like, oh, that hurts.
Oh, that's
I killed this dog, and I know the dog's name.
Oh,
once you know an animal's name, it breaks your heart.
Why do you have to kill it though? Because it's coming
at you. It attacks you. Yeah, they're
okay.
trained to attack you. These are like it's like a little militia. So they train our dogs to attack people.
Not good.
Yeah, it's not good. So that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, and I know there's something broken about me that I could kill 1,000 people, and then it comes to the point where it's, oh, you have to hurt this puppy, and I'm like, whoa, you crossed the line. But that's how I'm wired.
So I even though I like playing the game, I agree on I would say there's some reviewers out there that do, like private reviewers, not the big Metacritic ones, that do like the game a lot. Mm-hmm. And then you get the people more in the middle ground. I'm kind of like with the people in the middle ground. It was a technically great game, but because of the choices they made, it's not a 10 out of 10 like the first game. The first game got 10 out of 10 from everybody.
Well, yeah, okay, so at 10, scale of 10.
Yeah, this one I would give it a 7.
A 7? Okay.
Yes, because it's not a 5, because it's not the gameplay itself it would be a 10 out of 10 if the story wasn't a big pile of garbage. But since the story was weak, even though I respect, that's the thing, it would probably be a 6 out of 10 if I didn't respect what they tried to do, and they tried to tell an adult story with, he took a chance, and I don't think he quite stuck the landing.
What would you give the first one?
10 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
I love the first game.
What would you give God of War?
God of War? Give that a 8 out of 10.
I was going to say somewhere around 8 for
8
myself,
out of 10,
and it's funny because I wasn't particularly fond of the puzzles. It's just
the puzzles doesn't bother.
Beautiful game.
Yeah, but if in the game, the game messes with you when you get to the end of the game. And
let's. Are we done with Last of Us 2?
Yes, we're done. Okay. So, anyways, before we cap off on Last of Us 2, does that seem? I don't know. If it was a movie, which they are making a movie. This was so popular, the first game, and they're making a movie on The Last of Us.
And everyone knows the video game movies are awesome.
Well...
okay, no.
There's a couple of them. Mortal Kombat was pretty good.
Actually, I hate to admit it, I saw Street Fighter 1, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen. I'm not going to go so far as to say it was good, but I've seen worse movies.
I liked the Silent Hill ones with Sean Bean. And he doesn't die in those, which is weird.
What do you mean? I thought you said Sean Bean was in it.
Yeah, he was in it, but he didn't die. It's the only movies he's never died in.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean, yeah, Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean was in Silent Hill 1 and 2. I like the movies because I like the feel of the Silent Hill. I like the atmosphere.
I don't think I've seen either of them, but I'll have to watch them.
Oh, you'll hate them because you hate everything. But
I do.
I think they're mildly enjoyable.
Okay. All right. There are a few things, like, I enjoyed Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, well, that's because it kind of turned the genre on its head a little bit. If you think it's one movie.
Done. It was really well done.
Yeah. That movie is actually better in the second viewing.
I've watched that more than once.
Yeah, because you can catch all the creatures that were like locked and loaded, ready to go. There's so many Easter eggs in that movie.
It was just awesome. It was just great. I like when I'm surprised, and that was surprising.
I did like that.
What else? I just saw one the other day. I didn't watch a movie. I just saw a reference to it. Exorcism of Emily Rose. I enjoyed that.
Oh yes, I like that. I like all those weird, supernatural thriller, not quite horror, but.
Yeah, actually, I suppose I should give them a shout out because I have the means to do so. Nuke's Top 5 on YouTube. I watch it every week. Not even kidding. It's ghost videos.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm mesmerized by them. I just don't understand. And that would be Beryl, my sister-in-law, folks. Yes. She's now a celeb.
Yep, you're now gonna be online.
We don't have a now recording sign or anything, so it's just literally anybody can walk in.
Walk in, shout out. So anyways, for Last of Us 2, I mean, if you would have played this yourself, and I can't see you falling in love with the characters the way I would because there's something wrong with me. But if you played it, I would feel it'd just be a video game to you, and you wouldn't be attached to the characters. If they die, you'd be like, well, at least I don't play that guy anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably. But, the stories are all the same. As I skip through the text.
Yeah, these I don't skip through. Yeah, it's, like most games, that's all you get out of the video game. But these, I always watch all the cutscenes because I'm okay with it.
No, actually, I played a game, Regalia. It was a strategy game. I enjoyed it. But a lot of reading.
A lot of reading.
Yeah,
I hear there's another RPG game out that is nothing but reading. I forget what it's called.
Disco Elysium.
That's it.
Man, I'm a nerd.
Yes, you are a nerd. Disco Elysium is supposed to be just, it's more than a book. It's like several books you have to cover.
Actually, the irony of that is I know that because you told me that.
Oh, and I forgot the name of Disco Elysium. I've been waiting for a really good sale because...
It looks beautiful. I think it's all watercolors.
Yeah. I watched a little bit of playthrough, and you can't watch somebody else play that game. You can't. It's just too much reading. You might as well just play yourself.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I want to read that much.
And apparently in that game, it's all about dice rolls, and you can see the dice rolls that happens. And it's okay for you to fail a dice roll. That's what makes the game interesting. So it's a game you wouldn't want to cheat it and have all the powers in the game.
Yeah.
The game wouldn't be any fun. You have to be able to fail a skill check here and there. Because I watched one where you fail a skill check just trying to pull the tie off a chandelier, and he almost died.
Nice.
That's hilarious because it's a hilarious little story and narrative that goes along with that. Yeah. That his heart's pounding, and he's starting to sweat, and he can't get the tie off the chandelier, and he loses a hit point.
That's great.
Yeah, so I think that story is better if you aren't like a perfect player.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so God of War, I brought that one up because I just beat that, and I'm making air quotes, folks, because I got the credits to roll.
Yes.
And then they told me to go beat the Valkyries, so I went and killed the 4 Valkyries.
Yes.
And then I said, hurrah! And then the weirdest thing, the reason I wanted to bring that up is the weirdest thing happened. Then the game emailed me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I got an email from God of War like, hey, congratulations, you completed your quest, and now there's all sorts of shit you can do. And I'm like, really? I'm gonna free up the space, I think.
Yes. Well, the thing is, and I didn't know this myself because I thought I beat the game, and I also uninstalled it. But then I went online and saw other people playing the game. Apparently, after you get the end credits, they pulled an Avengers on you, an end credit scene. You don't see it until you go back to your cabin, to your house.
Okay, so do tell. It's not going to spoil it for me.
Well, you go there and like years pass.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, lightning outside. You go outside and it's Thor, the god of lightning, coming for you.
Nice.
In the game, and then it ends.
Oh, you don't get you get to kick Thor's ass? Because I definitely would.
That's what's getting ready for the next game.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So yeah, so that was their end credit scene, but you had to go back to your house to see it.
I got you. Which
I thought was so. Yeah, I would say God of War. I like the combat on the game very much, especially once I cheated. And you got the second and.
Oh yeah, once you got the swords, the blades, those were the shit.
Those are what you had in the first 3 games. God of War 1, 2, and 3 in the PlayStation 2.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So if you were a God of War fan, and I watched playthroughs, people freaked out when he put those on. They lost their shit.
Yeah.
They lost it.
Oh, I bet, because they're just like, awesome.
Oh, they got those, and you're like, because they were great for crowd control, and they solved some more puzzles for you that you couldn't get through earlier.
Exactly.
So it was, and I ended up using those for most of the game after that.
Oh, once I got those, I only used the axe as needed.
Yeah, just for puzzles, just to lock open doors or whatever it did, Everything else, I just use those things.
Oh my god, yeah, they're just devastating. There's no comparison.
Yeah, there isn't. It was such a great upgrade, and I liked how they introduced that in the middle of the game. I thought that was cool. I was like, all of a sudden, it's like, okay, you've been playing the game, now let's give you something.
Yep. And don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it.
Of the game,
I gotta say, actually, the navigating in that game. The game was it was both big and small. It was weird. It was a big game, and yet I managed to find my way around quite easily.
Well, they wanted to do a thing where there was they want to make it realistic traveling from one zone to the other, where there wasn't like a cutscene or you're doing, like blanking out through, warp or something. You would just show up. Oh, did you do that cool scene where in that fast travel scene?
Yeah, you jump off. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. There were a few things in that game that were completely awesome. A beautiful, beautiful game, though, I gotta say. Really was beautiful.
If you like that game and you weren't happy with the puzzling in the game, I would say Horizon Zero Dawn would be a better game for you, because it doesn't have puzzles.
Less puzzles, more fighting kind of thing?
Yeah, less puzzles, but it has story that you really shouldn't skip.
Yeah.
But it's closer to an RPG in the fact that, one, you talk to people and you have conversation trees, and also, a lot of the story are books you find, electronic books, digital books you find that have the backstory, kind of like Fallout or Mass Effect, or Elder Scrolls. So it's closer to an RPG. So I would say I would replay Horizon Zero Dawn more than I would play God of War over again.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, and that's part of the reason I deleted it almost immediately was I've got games right now that I know are good. Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man for them.
Yeah.
But I can't play them all at once. Like you kind of have to commit,
Well, Spider-Man you like because there's no puzzles. You are just slinging your webs. And have you actually loaded that game up at all?
I did load it once, and I wasn't very good at it. I require some practice.
Oh, once you start swinging, it's just the coolest feeling of how...
It was neat. I wasn't very good at it, though. I gotta get the swing of it.
You gotta get the swing of it. The guy who created the PlayStation version of Spider-Man, which is considered the second best Spider-Man game ever, it was really close. They stole all those ideas, just made them a little bit better.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like they had it down almost. It just had old technology back then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not a fair fight at all. That's not apples to apples at all.
You also notice when you're Spider-Man, when you're walking around on the street, people will talk to you. So shout out to you.
Be like, yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's a good game.
Actually, no, I gotta look. What have I been playing? No, we got a War. Oh, and Need for Speed, man. I've now got 3 Need for Speed games. I think literally every one of them was definitely less than $10. I think I bought them all for around $5 each.
Yeah.
And the Rivals is the one I'm playing now. So you basically, although I don't know how to do it yet, but you can be a good guy, or you can be a cop, or you can be a bad guy, basically. And so far, I'm just being the cop.
I thought you almost said you could be a good guy or you could be a cop.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. That's what you were going to say.
The cops in this are awesome because apparently they don't care about liberty or current climate, because the solution for, well, the way you enforce crime is hysterical. As you drive around, you'll see certain cars have a number over them from 1 to, I've seen a 7. I don't know how high it goes. But the higher the number, the more of a criminal they are. So even a 1, you should pull them over. But when you turn on your lights, no one pulls over ever. Oh. So the way you make an arrest is you literally ram that vehicle until they've taken a certain amount of damage, which is hopefully more than your vehicle has taken.
Wow, that seems safe.
And so that's how you make arrests. You know, you see somebody with a 1, you know, it's just minor traffic infractions. You ram them at top speed. So, so far I have to admit, I haven't figured out how to be a bad guy yet, but I'm not certain I'm lamenting that all that much, because the bad guy, all you do is run away.
Yeah.
When you're the cop, you're actively ramming people.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun, really. Unless there's a cheat code that says you hit them once and they stop. That'd be okay with.
No, I absolutely love it. I love the racing games. I did not know this about me either, but really loving the racing games.
Well, I think I hate myself because the game I'm playing now is the Norman Reedus game.
Okay, yeah.
The Death Stranding. And I already know, going into it, that the game is, you know when you play role-playing games, mm-hmm. and there's a main quest, and then there's a side fetch quest?
Yeah. This
is just that, the side fetch quest, for 40 hours.
Like the whole game is a side fetch quest, is what you're saying.
That's what I hear. I hear there's something's changed, and it's on the most, like, you got to maintain your balance on when you climbing all these mountains and stuff, and if you fall over, the car gets damaged and people get mad at you. So it is like a difficult game to play, and I'm going to play it because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, you do love it.
Because it is, one, it's a beautiful game, and you do get to see Norman Reedus naked, which is always a plus.
I like that that's in your pro column.
Yeah, it's definitely a pro column.
Right.
So apparently this is a post-apocalyptic future where this Death Stranding came. I don't even know what that is yet. I actually haven't got any spoilers on this game. I don't really know much about it.
Yeah, I know he's carrying around a baby, which, you know,
yeah,
I just presumed it was the latest in fashions.
I think I know who the baby is, and his mom is the Bionic Woman, which I think is awesome.
Okay.
The real Bionic Woman.
I absolutely love that statement, but I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, and they de-aged her, so she looks like she's like she did back in the late 70s, where that TV show was out.
Yep.
Lindsay Wagner.
Yep.
So that's your mom in the game, which is awesome.
That's great.
Mads Mikkelsen, I think, is one other character. I haven't met him yet in the game. You'd see his face if you Google him.
I probably would.
You probably would see his face. No, you remember his face.
I know who he is. I know what you mean. I just like the wording.
But since it's mocapped, it looks exactly like them. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment, and I don't care. I'm going to play it anyways because I hear the story is awesome, but it takes a good 10, 15 hours for it actually to get one.
Well, keep us posted here. We want to hear how what your rating is at the end of that.
Yeah, see if it rates higher than. See what happens. This should be the opposite of Last of Us 2. This should be having lesser gameplay, but with a better story.
Okay.
Does that make it a better game or not?
Yeah, does that do it for you or not?
Yeah.
All right, I see that we're already 29 minutes in, and we still have a couple things to talk about. I'm going to say we scratched our last subject for today, but one of the things is it is almost the holiday. By the holiday, of course, I mean my birthday.
Yes, we need to get a PO box so people can send you stuff.
That's fantastic. But we've got the 4th of July holiday coming up, with my birthday being that Monday. So, anywho, what do you have planned?
Do you think they have 4th of July in Europe?
They entirely have a 4th of July in Europe. I love that question, though. It is fantastic. Co-worker of mine is originally from Britain, and I keep telling him that I'm going to ask my boss that he work on the 4th of July, which is extra special because it happens to be on a Saturday. But
Yeah.
why is he taking it off? But I've told him this joke because, well, it's funny. And on our team call last week, he was wearing a shirt that just said something about the colonial infidels. It was Happy Treason Day. That's what it was.
Oh, Happy Treason Day.
And I absolutely loved it. And of course, it had the Union Jack flag.
And it's true.
It was wonderful. Yeah, it's not wrong off the.
Yeah.
It's not off the mark. But, it delighted me.
Yeah.
When I told him, I asked your boss told your boss he should make you work 4th of July. He's like, boy, you really hold a grudge.
Yeah.
That was his response.
Yeah. Jeez, that's awesome.
Thought that was great. But any big plans for the holiday?
Me? No, probably just gonna be working on either podcast stuff or it's gonna take me about 2 weeks to wrap your present. So
Fantastic.
now I'll be able to get started this weekend.
That's great. Well, I hope you don't ever have to get me anything, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And we'll have to talk about when we're gonna get together there. Because this weekend's gonna be a busy one. Yeah. But no fireworks this year. Kinda odd. Well, let me rephrase that, folks. Yeah. Every night has been 4th of July because it is based on temperature. Once it hits 70 degrees, all night, every night is 4th of July for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think they missed a night.
They actually banned fireworks sales in Albany County, and I have to admit, I'm actually delighted by this because seriously, guys, it's nonstop all night long.
Yeah. And
personally, I think we should ban bottle rockets for being lame.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Because seriously, really? That's all you do?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, ban that and those little snakes.
Mickles loves the snakes.
Really?
Loves them. I literally have snakes in my household.
Really?
Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to ask her about it later. She'll love it. Loves the snake. I even have glow-in-the-dark snake firework technology. It is the real deal. But with the holiday, though, I did want to throw it out there that, to my knowledge, I think every gamer out there should be aware there are sales all over the place for the 4th of July. So, go out there. Doesn't matter what system you're playing on. I guarantee there's some kind of sale going on.
Yeah.
And seems to be some juicy ones. I'm going to check them out.
Oh, I just got a text message from a coworker of mine who is playing Last of Us 2 right now.
Oh, fantastic.
And he says, just got done with Aquarium with Abby. Wow. Haters gonna hate, but I ain't. It's wonderful.
That's great. So just basically killed his dog friend.
Yeah, he doesn't know that yet. Oh. He killed a dog at that point. He doesn't know it's the dog.
Oh, yeah, that's just mean.
I'm gonna talk to him in a week.
Well, again, timing-wise, we're going a little long here today, but you'd said earlier, and I don't want to skip this one, you'd said you heard a couple songs?
So I, especially these days, if I go to the office, I turn on Pandora, and sometimes it throws stuff at me that I'm like, wow, that wasn't the 50th time I've heard that song, Mr. Pandora. You played something new for me.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that happened today.
And don't play anything.
I won't play it because that'll be so copyrighted.
Yeah.
No, this is just I took a picture of the my screen actually at work.
Oh, okay.
This song is called Fire by Barnes Courtney. After we're done with the podcast, you definitely got to listen to these songs because they're just like what was the guy Nathaniel
Rateliff?
Yeah. So I discovered him, I don't know, 6 months ago or so. And I listen to him all the time now.
Oh, me too. I freaking, by far, my favorite artist, my favorite artist right now.
And I think because I've been thumbing up his stuff, that I've been getting stuff that's a little bit more, I don't know, I wouldn't call it folksy country-ish, but it's not country.
Yeah, no, I walk that line.
Yeah, it's that line, and I'm really enjoying the music.
It's bluegrassy kind of,
This song,
I'm anxious to hear it. But,
this song is great.
Still don't play it.
And this song, it's kind of your taste in music that I've been starting to get into, and it's I bet you even know this song because it sounds like a song you would already know. "Ain't No Sunshine" by Bill Withers.
Oh my God.
Great song. I'm in love with it.
And Bill Withers just passed.
Did he?
R.I.P. Bill Withers, but
that showed up
just more.
I knew you knew who he was.
I actually. Okay, we're just gonna get this out there.
Love that
we're
song.
So inappropriate, it's outrageous. So one of my inappropriate things is when a celebrity dies, I text something inappropriate to Kevin as quickly as possible,
Yeah.
or vice versa.
You didn't say anything about Carl Reiner. What did you say?
I know, some of them just hit me too hard. And
Yeah, I know.
Like, I did tell Mickles, though, I said Lyman Zerder died, which is...
when it was on Producers, or when
no,
was he...
It was Ocean's...
oh, yeah, he was the
Ocean's
guy
11.
in Ocean's 11.
Zerder, so...
Yeah, that's who he was.
So that's what I said to Mick. But,
he's been in a ton of stuff.
Yes, it's just so, some of the inappropriate death celebrity quotes were... like when Stan Lee died, I said he's an X-Man.
Yeah,
which I was particularly fond of.
That's a pretty good one, yeah.
When Bowie went, I said I texted you, I'm going to put on my red dress and dance the blues, or red shoes and dance the blues. That's what I'm going to do. Yep.
Red shoes.
And so when Bill Withers died, I said I texted Mickles with "Ain't No Sunshine Now He's Gone." I'm just amazed that's the first time you've heard that. I mean, that's an astounding piece
of
work.
And then when it comes to, I don't know, it was called The Bridge or whatever. Yeah, in the middle of the song, what's he saying in the middle of the song? What's the lyrics?
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone so long.
He just repeats something over and over again. It just gets me.
And I know.
Oh, that's it.
I know.
That's it. When he gets to that part, I'm like, dude, sing it. Sing it, man.
It's awesome.
Sing it.
I think I gotta play like more Nina Simone for you too. Because I freaking love that. And
so I think you'd like the other one too, but it's a different genre.
I know I played a lot of them for you, but goddamn, what the hell's his name? It's gonna kill me now. Sam Cooke.
Oh, Sam Cooke? I know Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke Sam Cooke is... Everything I hear by Sam Cooke makes me want to listen to more Sam Cooke. Oh. He's that freaking good.
That's awesome.
But, Bill Withers, yeah.
So that's the new music this week for me.
That's pretty good, though. That's pretty groovy. I like that.
I was like, man, I know Sean knows this guy.
Oh, yeah,
I heard it. This is your music. And then I started listening to it, and I'm like, oh, whenever that comes up, I'm just like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sing it, man.
That's awesome,
Just sing it.
So I don't know if I'm making your music taste better or worse, but either way, I'm having
diverse. I mean, you can't listen to Rush and Dream Theater and nothing else for the rest of your life.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very much true. And Broadway plays, for that matter.
Come on. In fact, that's what the in-laws are doing this weekend. Speaking of what we're doing this weekend, they're having a Hamilton party this weekend.
Because it's been recorded?
It's on Disney Plus.
Gotcha.
You can go watch it, and the kids at Disney Plus. And,
gotcha.
I have no interest because I don't really like rap that much. But that and the whole place is rap.
You saw The Real Deal, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Never saw it.
All right.
I don't think you could afford. I don't think anyone could afford it for the most part to go see it because they think tickets were so hard to get.
That's nuts. Yeah.
But now you can watch it Disney Plus.
Yeah, you know me. I don't want to leave the house to begin with, but I mean, when like it's hey, you need to pay money to see somebody. I'm like, yeah, not really. Thanks.
Sometimes I don't regret it. Let's put it that way. But sometimes I do, going out, leaving the house.
Well, I might as well throw this line out there too. I'm the guy that said I've never seen a stripper as hot as Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
See at 20, I'm like, you're coming home with me, big boy. I am keeping you. But anyway, we're right at around 38 minutes here.
I think that's
guys, if you're still listening to us, and like guys, girls, everyone. If anybody's still listening to us, thank you. And, I apologize. I know we're not that skilled, but we're going to get better.
Yeah. If you have any suggestions, love mail, our website.
Love mail, yes.
Love mail.
Oh, yeah, I forget. We have things to talk about now.
Yes, we now have a website.
Actually, let's take a minute there. Yeah, so what all do we have going on, please?
Well, I'm middle of setting up the Facebook page, a Discord page. We're going to eventually start streaming things online, video games. But yeah, so you can email us at toot@tootcast.net.
That is fantastic. So that is, toot, as in the one other thing.
Yes.
And with that being said, I think for now that is it.
Yeah, if we get more than 3 subscribers, we'll start making products.
Fantastic. That's great. But hopefully you enjoyed this. And again, these will continue and get better. And glad to have you with us.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Take care.